All right, fifth grade. In your materials, you should have had a tall sheet of paper, and we're going to fold it in half and then in half again so that we have 4 sections when we open it up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to use this to make a photo strip, kind of like if you went into a photo booth. We're going to do pop art pet portraits using this paper. So first I'll set that aside. You're going to need to go around and take some photographs of your pet. It can also be a stuffed animal, something that we can repeat 4 times. So you'll need your iPad, and then what we're going to do is import these things into Sketches School. So remember, there are 3 dots. If I click on those 3 dots, I want to then click on the box with an arrow pointing down, and that will let me pull something in. I want to click on photo because I already have photos in my stream. And I'm going to start with this picture of my dog. Now, I want to make it so that it fits inside of this rectangle because I'm going to do a little bit of tracing to make this easiest. So I'm happy with that size. I can check it with one section, make sure I like it. Hit my check mark, I'm good to go. Now if you have a stylus, then you can go ahead and use it. I've got the one from school. If you don't, then you can do this with your fingertip as well. But it's gonna be pretty easy. We're just gonna outline the major shapes of the dog, the major features of the dog, using black. We're going to use the thicker marker, and we're going to outline the major details of the dog. So I'm kind of tracing on the folds of the dog as well, so that we have some more interest added to it. And the shape of his nose kind of comes down like this. And kind of get this outline around its eye. Kind of any of these shadows and things that I see. And then I want to check it by clicking on the eye. And I think I've got enough details in there to show my dog. He had kind of he's a little chubby. He's got a little bit of a roll going around his neck, so I think I'm going to extend the collar. I didn't like where it cut off. And same with here. I can extend this collar so we can really see it. Okay. Once I've got that done, then I can take my paper and I can go over the top and I can trace this. Going to move this, and I'll bring you along with me because I've got a bit of a glare coming in my window. There we go. All right, so now I've got my dog in place and I can continue tracing it so that I have it in all 4 sections so that I can do a true pop art version where in each one I change the sections. I can also do multiple photos. If you wanted to do 4 photos in each, you can do that as well. So I have gone ahead and I've traced my image of my dog 4 times onto my paper. Again, we're going to try and make this look kind of like it's a photo booth imagery. We are done with the iPad and we can get rid of that. With your dog in place, I like to frame each rectangle out. So pick one and just come in here, right on the crease. I like to round my corners. Some newspaper underneath just because I don't want the Sharpie on my tablecloth. All right, so I have gone through and outlined all of my sections, curves on the edges so that it looks like it was printed out at a photo booth. And my next step is adding color. Now for your coloring, you can use crayons, you can use markers, you can use colored pencils, you can use watercolor paint. It is really your choice. But the idea is that it is a pop art pet. So we do not want to use the colors that our pet truly has. So my dog is a black lab. That's going to be really easy for me to avoid because I don't want to make the dog solid black. I'm going to add some texture into my dog using my crayons. So I want to show the fur. And so that's those hatch marks, those short dashed lines. This one I work with some red. Showing the motion and the movement of that fur. Now each section, each dog should be done in a completely different set of colors so that it is a true pop art style dog, similar to the style of Andy Warhol. I can come in with my watercolor. Now, if I use the same color that I colored with, I want to make sure I'm using a very little bit of the watercolor so that my colors come through. So with my purple, I'm just getting a little bit of watercolor in there right now. And then I can come in with water to really thin this out. Allowing us to see all of those hatch marks and the texture that we added. Okay, it can go a little bit darker. You'll notice I'm going to hop around a little bit because I don't want to paint next to the areas that are wet. I want to let them dry. So then I can come in and work on a different dog. I've got the majority of my details. Areas are dry, so I can start working on backgrounds, the collar, things like that, working into the eyes. For your background, you can do some images. You could draw dog bones or something related to your animal. If you had a cat, draw something related to your cat that's kind of repetitive in the background. You could take the style of Roy Lichtenstein and add the Ben-Day dots. You can do just a solid color, which is very similar to Andy Warhol as well. You know, up to you as you think about those backgrounds. So I'm gonna come in here, and I think I'm just gonna use some orange on this one for the background. Looks like I need a little more water. All right, so here they are.